Hello, today we are here in Dublin, in Tallaght exactly, in Otto. So Otto is the company of Barry McDowell, founder and owner. And we're going to talk today about the fleet that they have in this company and why they went EVs. So hello Barry, how are you?
How are you?
So first, how long have you had electric vehicles in your company?
We switched to electric vehicles about, we started to switch about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Prior to that we were using predominantly TDI diesel vans, the usual kind of delivery vehicles.
Yeah.
As the industry's progressed, we found we didn't need to be carrying so many bulky parts like bumpers and body parts. We don't sell so many now, so EVs fitted our criteria for room, you know, enough space.
Yeah.
So we started looking at the economics of running vans. We found that vans were depreciating very quickly in value. They consumed an enormous amount of diesel, up to 5,000 euros worth per annum.
Yeah.
Depreciation was massive on them, as I say. There were a lot of other running costs associated with dual mass flywheels, EGR valves packing in after kind of 150,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
We looked at the reports on electric vehicles at the time, and it seemed people were getting colossal mileages out of, you know, Nissan Leafs and Teslas. So we thought, well, we'll take the plunge.
Okay.
And another reason we went for an EV was we had to see what was coming in the industry, what was changing, because it's going to affect our business. Currently we supply a lot of parts for diesel cars, petrol cars, but it's all going to change. So So there's good news and bad news. Bad news for us for selling car parts, but good news for the environment.
Different parts, maybe less, but different ones anyway.
Yeah.
So which models do you have, and with which model did you start actually?
Yeah, we actually started with two Hyundai Ionics. So they were the first cars we bought.
Yeah.
They were the smaller batteries. They've now been superseded by a larger battery. So we had an initial range of about 250 kilometers on the Ionics. And they served a dual purpose. They served as an everyday car that you could drive as opposed to a van. You know, you could go to the shops, you could bring your relatives around it, you had 4 or 5 seats. And then you could drive to work in it, and then it was used as a delivery vehicle all day long. So we were getting a double benefit from the car.
Yeah. And then you got into...
then we got some Bmw I3. Well, we bought one i3 initially. And we've now just taken delivery of our third i3. So we found the i3 is particularly useful because it's very boxy in the rear with the back seats folded down. It has a very big capacity.
It's flat, nice and flat.
Yeah, it's high up. It's good for, you know, doing deliveries in. It's good visibility through all the windows, and you know,
especially in the city.
Yeah.
So
we've 3 i3s. We've the 60 amp hour, which is the kind of the smallest battery. We've a 90 amp hour one, and we've the 120, which is the highest range.
Very good.
The 60 amp hour we've used predominantly in suburban areas. You know, just driving in and out of Dublin. We're based here in Tallaght, just on the outskirts of Dublin, so it's very practical for going in and out of town. And then we'll use the 90 and the 120 for longer distances, deliveries to Naas and County Wicklow, or even down as far as Arklow and back.
Exactly. And so what's the usage, what kind of mileage have you put on those cars per year after those 2 years?
We're actually putting a phenomenal mileage on them, and my ambition is to try and, you know, see what I can actually... I plan to drive our Hyundai Ionic into the ground. I just want to see what mileage I can get out of it. So if that's 500,000, it'll be 500,000. But currently we're putting about, on the Ionic, we put probably 70,000 per year. And probably a bit less on the i3s, maybe 50,000 per annum.
Okay, so it's still a lot.
Quite a mileage, yeah.
What about vans? Do you still need them, or would you get them?
We still need some vans, because we do deliver some very heavy parts, such as barrels of oil, which weigh 250 kg. They've got to be secure. You've got to have a bulkhead between something like that and the driver. So there'll always be a requirement for a van. Currently, we've diesel vans. If and when they expire, we may replace them with an electric van. You know,
there are possibilities. There's a few options on the market now.
Yeah.
So On the long term, you want to turn the fleet completely electric?
Yes, we've pretty much turned the fleet electric here at this branch, our Tala branch. We've another branch in Swords. We're running 2 diesel vehicles. As the opportunity arises, we will change them for EVs as well. We've an advantage here in that we have our chargers located on the premises, but our location in Swords doesn't lend itself to that, so there's a bit of an issue there around charging the vehicle.
Okay. All right, we're now with Peter. Peter is also driving one of those vehicles. So Peter, which one are you driving, and what do you think about this one?
I'm driving both of them, the i3 and the Ioniq as well.
Yeah.
I prefer to drive the i3, but the Ioniq looks better.
Yeah.
My opinion.
It's the i3 is a bit challenging. Not everybody loves those cars.
But I feel drives it better.
Yeah. Would you get one as a personal vehicle, an electric car, or do you still like your petrol?
Yeah, I would for the second car.
Yeah.
Actually, but like a bigger range, like the Tesla, I would keep them for the main car.
Yeah. You need a longer range if you want to have this. That's great. And so you've been driving for a long time those electric vehicles?
Since we have it at the company.
Since the beginning.
Yes.
Okay, good. So you're one of the heavy drivers. You've done dozens of thousands of kilometers with this?
Yes.
Okay.
He's recently been promoted to warehouse manager, so not so much driving now.
Not so much now, but used to be.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Well, thanks a lot, Peter, for the feedback.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. So, just another thing now about the benefits as a company. So you indicated a few numbers before. Have you already crunched some numbers or something that you can say?
We crunched the numbers, and we believe that it's cheaper to run a fleet of EVs over the long term than it is to run a fleet of diesel vans for a number of reasons, like the fuel saving. Although the vehicles cost more than a van to buy, the depreciation they depreciate slower.
Yeah.
So the overall cost of depreciation is less. So maybe over a 5-year term, if you're to stack up the two, the EVs are a lot less. There's also another benefit for someone who might normally have a company car, and that there's no BIK on the EV, which is for my own point of view and from one of the other directors, that's a big cost saving.
That's true
for us.
So besides the BIK and the fueling costs, obviously, any other benefits?
Well, we would have reduced tolls. So these cars go through a lot of tolls around the M50 on a daily basis. So there's reduced tolls. There's reduced servicing costs. We're not like a van. When we're doing the kind of mileage, 50, 60, 70,000 kilometers a year, you could be saving, 4 or 5 servicing.
Yeah.
Just even things like regular oil changes. They annoy you. They pull a van off the road for a day when the schedule is up, and you always find you're overrunning on the servicing. Whereas the electric vehicles, to be quite honest, virtually no servicing. Maybe once a year they go in for a software update and a windscreen wiper or something like that.
And the tires.
But
the tires could be quickly done anyway, so you can work around the schedule.
Yeah, we actually keep a set of tires in stock at all times for the i3, so they're just there ready to go on a quiet day if one of them needs it. We're not
that's a good point.
Trying to order the parts.
Yeah. So what kind of charging infrastructure you have? I saw a couple of white boxes in the background here.
Right. This isn't my strongest area, but I believe they're probably 7 kilowatt chargers, if I'm correct. They operate on.
Well, the 3-phase is probably 11. Are they both the same?
They are both the same.
Okay, so that's probably 11 3-phase. Yeah. Which is good. Yeah, because you have a proper professional facility, so you can have 3-phase on site, unlike domestic power. So that's good.
Typically these cars will be taken home each evening by myself or one of the drivers. They would come in probably with, because we charge them at home, they'd come in with 75 or 80% charge in them. They're put on charge at kind of 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're fully charged then, ready to go out on a day's work. And they're topped up every time the car comes back in between deliveries. So we don't have any issues. If we do, if it's going on a very long run, like we use a fast charger somewhere, and it takes 20 minutes to 30 minutes to top up to full again on,
You still have
on a
this
high-speed
option.
charger. Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably will add some more if your fleet is expanding.
We will, yeah. Well, we run motorbikes into the city centre as well, you know, because they're currently we can deliver very quickly with the COVID situation into town because the traffic is way lighter than normal. But under normal circumstances, there'll be gridlock in Dublin, and the motorbikes are really the only way to go into the city centre. But
Good. Electric bike soon, maybe.
But possibly they're very expensive at the moment.
Still, yeah, that's the thing. There's a big difference.
There's not a huge range. You know.
But when they'll be
we'll
there,
see what happens. Yeah, we'd like to try one of the BMWs when the you know, not a new one, but when the price comes down, we might try one of them.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. What's going to be the next one? Have you already thought about it? Is there an EV that would suit your needs in the future?
Well, the models are a little bit slow coming to market. There's still a limited range of vehicles out there. Obviously, all the manufacturers are gearing up, and there's a lot of new models due to come out. You know, at the moment, we probably have, everyone knows them, about half a dozen to 10 different brands out there. But with Volkswagen Audi Group now will be coming out with a lot of fully electric vehicles, so there'll be a whole plethora of vehicles available to everyone, and we'll just see what comes along. Although I must say, I do like to buy a tried and tested car, which is why I'm currently using the i3. You know, I'm a little bit wary buying something that's just come out, because issues may arise, as they do with all vehicles in the first 6 months, a year or so, and they iron out the crinkles.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So I don't know. My father, I've converted my father to electric vehicles as well. Yeah,
great.
And he's got a Jaguar, which is a nice electric vehicle.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
Well, this is the way it works usually.
Yeah.
Some people are getting an EV, and then
Yeah.
you start to talk about.
I laid the guilt trip on him, so he got rid of his big standard Jags and got an electric one.
Good. That's great. All right, thanks a lot, Barry, for your time, and well, we're with all those EVs. I hope many more coming.
Okay, thanks, Guillaume.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.